Look, I think there are lots of different things happening all at the same time, which is part of the challenge for all of us as buyers and sellers, because we have to unpack the short term from the long term trends. In the short term, we've got some economic challenges. We've got a variety of uncertainty that is continuing to affect the marketplace. We saw that starting in end of Q1, leading into Q2 with requests for shifts and cancellations outside of the upfront options window. We saw that hit fairly significantly with third quarter options. And we're continuing to see softness or projected softness in what we think the upfront, whatever form it takes, will have for 2021. The longer term reality is that we're seeing a generational shift in the consumption of video content, how it's delivered to homes, the formats that it's consumed in, and the advertising models that support it, or the lack of advertising models that support it. And I think that, that long-term trend is not changing. It's very interesting when you look at the data. When the pandemic hit, you saw rapid increases in TV consumption, and what were normally for a number of years monthly and weekly year-over-year declines in ratings. All of a sudden, as soon as everyone was sheltering at home, we saw increases year-over-year for most TV day parts, if not all. We saw substantial increases in use of TVs for nonlinear TV consumption, everything from streaming to gaming and connected devices. But the interesting thing is that over the last 6 weeks, the bumps that we saw to linear TV have fallen right back to the long-term trend of year-over-year declines. So there was an immediate kind of 4 to 6 week impact to TV viewing, linear TV viewing in the home. But that has fallen back to the long-term trends, which are continuing erosion. And what we do see strength in are the non-linear consumption platforms, streaming. We continue to see strength in gaming. And I think that that's something that we all have to just reconcile. It's going to change the way advertisers think about the video screen, the TV screen, and the types of experiences that we choose to advertise on as they expand on that screen. I actually believe an upfront marketplace is happening. I think it's happening very differently than it's happened in the past. But I don't think I'm speaking out of school to say that there are conversations, I'm sure, going on across the industry. They might be slower, they might be later, they might be more ambiguous than they've been in the past because we don't know specific programming assets that have been confirmed for the fall. We don't know whether sports is coming back. There's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace, but that doesn't mean that the discussions that we all need to have with our sell-side partners aren't happening to a degree. There is going to be a market, whether it happens all at once or whether we have some clients moving on a broadcast year basis, others on a calendar year basis. If some choose to move to more of a hybrid scatter type of model, I think all that's still in question. But what's going to change and what needs to change is we need the upfront to move from the 20th to the 21st century. And the reality is that our clients, the clients of the networks and the sell side as well, have a much more real-time business dynamic that they have to meet. Their supply chains have been compressed. Their logistics solutions are much more real-time. And the reality is that our world has changed. We're much more dynamic. Things happen much faster. Product innovation happens faster. New competitors launch quicker. And our clients need to be a lot more reactive, and they need to have a lot more flexibility around how they manage their media investments and how those investments flow, not only within media partners who they work with across properties that they might own, but also across media companies and also across time to different parts of the year. So there's going to need to be a redefinition of what flexibility means, what cancellation options look like, and how we manage that to the benefit of both sides. This can't be all about just delivering, absolute flexibility for the marketer. We have to be fair to the sell side as well. They have a business to manage. They have to control their inventory, but we have to find new ways to provide value to both sides, because the old model doesn't work anymore. And I think, on top of that, there are a lot of issues with regards to the way that liability is managed, the way that programming changes are handled. All of these things have to be rethought in a world where things happen much more dynamically and much more often.